everybody, welcome to Bad Yogi Q&A Wednesday with me, Erin Motz. Today we are talking all about finding your purpose, finding your passion, and living the life you dream of. Okay, minus living the life you dream of, but we are talking about finding your passion. Alright, so funnily enough, this wasn't a question directed at me. It was actually a story someone shared about how she was filling out an online dating profile, and one of the questions was, what are your passions? And naturally, this can make any of us kind of fly off into panic land because we're like, I don't know what my passions are. That's such a huge question. What am I passionate about? What is like my life purpose? That's a major question to answer, especially for a dating profile. So yes, this is such a loaded question, and I don't know if it's our generation or if this has always been a question for people, but it seems very popular to talk about these days. And I don't know if maybe, again, it's a generational thing where a lot of us are not necessarily committing to one specific job that we're gonna do for 50 years. A lot of us are dabbling in different areas. So in our 20s, maybe we do this, and then once we get to our late 20s, early 30s, we kind of evolve into a different portion of our career. And so the question of what our passions are feels a lot more relevant. It feels like something that's very much in front of us and something that we really need to answer in order to keep our careers and our life moving forward. But despite all of that, I do think that putting the pressure on ourselves to answer the question, what are you passionate about, is a little unnecessary. So some of us are born just knowing what we want to do. Like, we are singularly focused, we know what our purpose is, we know what our passion is, and we can just go at it full throttle. The rest of us, myself included, feel like this is a bigger task. It was always really hard for me to pinpoint where my passion was. I mean, I didn't really know. I didn't grow up having one specific thing I was interested in. I dabbled a lot, and I just didn't feel like I had one overarching purpose. And to be honest with you, I didn't even feel like I was that interested in anything until I started teaching yoga. So that's just really pathetic, maybe. But it took me a long time to narrow down what I'm interested in, that's the first thing, what I'm interested in, and then how can I make that a bigger part of my life? How can I kind of magnetize the purpose of that thing in my life as an everyday thing? So I think when it comes to finding your purpose, or a purpose for now, I do think it comes back to dabbling. So I'm kind of hesitant to say this because I do believe in committing yourself to something. But when you don't know, when you're in a period of in-between and you feel like you don't fully know what direction you should be heading in, dabble. Go out into the real world and experiment with the real, tangible world. What are the things that you've always kind of wondered about? What are the things that you've always thought were cool? What are the things that you're like, that is beautiful or that is awesome? What are those things? Then go out into the real world and see if you can try them for yourself. I think finding a passion for me came from just saying yes. I just took the opportunity to teach yoga one day. You know, like my teacher was leaving and she said, oh, you should get certified. And I said, okay, and I did. And that was bad at first, you know, like it did not go well at first, but it led honestly into the rest of my life. So that was when I was 17 years old, and now I'm almost 30. And so had I not said yes to this one thing that I thought, that might be cool, I would not have what I have today. So I think passion starts off sometimes kind of lackluster. Passion can start off looking like something that's not very interesting to you, or looking like something that doesn't immediately appear to be this big lightning bolt of inspiration and motivation. It could be something that you say, yeah, I'd like to try that, and see where it goes. Finding your passion starts with a little baby step. Now, staying motivated and inspired to continue pursuing the things you're interested in is another hang-up that I think a lot of us have. Again, myself included. And that's one question I get a lot is, how do you stay motivated to keep pursuing your passion? And honestly, I don't always feel motivated. Many days do feel like I'm getting up and I'm like, gonna power through this day, I'm gonna get this stuff done, and hopefully move on to something else, something more inspiring in the moment. So not every part of your journey is going to be, this like basking in the white light of inspiration. Sometimes it's just hard work and getting through it. But there are some things you can do to kind of bring the muse of inspiration to you. And I think a big part of that is simply showing up. So making sure you're not running from that hard work and not running from the work even if inspiration isn't there for you, but sitting down and doing it anyway. So some of the things I do. First thing, I schedule my day. So when I know I'm having kind of a funky time and I don't feel like doing the stuff that I have to do and I'm not inspired to do it, I have a list of things that I have to get done and I do them anyway. So it gives me less of an excuse to weasel out of those commitments and stick to them. So scheduling your day is huge. It sounds obvious, but it's very important. Next, go out and find inspiration. Go get it if it's not coming to you magically. Read a book that you find inspiring, read a blog that you find inspiring, listen to a podcast by someone you know and love. Go ahead and jump on YouTube, find speeches from people you admire, find interviews with people you admire. You have to be proactive with finding things that inspire you and finding things that motivate you. And these are just a few of the ways that I do it. Lastly, finding motivation is simpler than we think sometimes. So you don't have to be living some profound existence every day of your life to feel inspired. Inspiration comes from ordinary places. It really does. So you don't have to take a trip around the world and that's how you find your inspiration. No, but you do have to go out of your house, go to the grocery store, and instead of avoiding eye contact with every single person there, when someone smiles at you, say hi. Or when the cashier starts talking about something funny and weird, just go with it. It's like I think inspiration comes when we connect with the world around us. And that's not profound in that it's not complex, but it's profound in that those are the moments we overlook that are the most important. All right, you know what? I'm gonna leave that there for now. My notebook there, but also this conversation there. So what I'd like to hear from you is, how do you stay inspired? That's the first question. And what is your purpose? Have you found your purpose, or are you still dabbling? What are the things you're interested in, and where have you found the ability to pursue those interests? Very curious to hear. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you enjoyed this Q&A. As usual, make sure you head down to the description below, go to badyogi.com, and sign up for my list where you will get more yoga resources. Mosquito! Anyway. Yoga resources, free classes, Q&As, and a bunch of other stuff I only talk about in email. Thanks again for joining me, and I'll see you guys right back here next week.